They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, that's a good way to describe the Chicago Bears franchise, and quite frankly, a good way to describe Chicago Bears fans like myself, because we do the same thing over and over and over again, and somehow, some way we have hope and might expect a different result. But here we are, after an embarrassing Week 10 loss to the New England Patriots, where the Bears gave up 9 sacks against Caleb Williams against a New England team who is one of the worst pass rushing teams in the league before this game. And we finally on a Tuesday made the decision that some people have been calling for weeks to fire the offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Now, Caleb Williams certainly not without blame when it comes to how the offense has performed. But when you continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results with a quarterback who's getting absolutely destroyed, with an offensive line that's full of injuries and passing concepts that really make no sense when you can't give your quarterback any time, what did you expect? Shane Waldron has now taken the fall, and he should have been fired. He deserves to be fired. But maybe not as much as Matt Eberflus deserves to be fired. This is an entire team that has given up on their coach. This is a coach who week after week refused to take any actual accountability and just said the same bullshit. Oh, it's about the process. It's about taking accountability. It's about playing together. Nothing of substance, and nothing has really changed. And now with the firing of Shane Waldron, nothing really will change, because quite frankly, this is a culture issue on this team that has existed since Matt Eberflus got there. It's existed in Chicago for a long time. But I don't know how you don't fire Matt Eberflus. After the performance he gave at a couple press conferences, refusing to actually say anything of substance, finally being forced into firing Shane Waldron. When, okay, we're going to bring in another play caller. Maybe that'll help a little bit. The Bears have a really tough schedule coming down the stretch. I don't care if they go 500 in that. Matt Eberflus needs to be gone. Should have been gone already. And this is a pattern. Just look at Matt Eberflus's line here, his line when we look at what he's done so far as the coach of the Chicago Bears. 14-29 record, locker room issues, coached a franchise record 14-game losing streak. 8 members of the coaching staff have been fired or had to resign because of issues that, Matt Eberflus brought in, right, in the last 14 months. 0-18 in Sunday away games, blown 5 games with a 95% win chance, just like we saw in that Washington Redskins or Washington Commanders Hail Mary. Matt Eberflus needs to go. He needs to fucking go. And when I say the Chicago Bears have been doing the same thing over and over again, this is what I mean. John Fox comes to Chicago. Things aren't working out. Hey, we're going to reset. We're going to draft up and take Mitch Trubisky. Okay? Mitch Trubisky, but John Fox stays. He still gets another year with Mitch Trubisky's rookie season. Doesn't go well. John Fox gets fired. They bring in and hire Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy coming from Kansas City, all this stuff. Okay. Matt Nagy turns things around. Mitch Trubisky, the Bears have a decent season, make the playoffs, double doink. Boom, gone from the playoffs, obviously. A couple mediocre seasons, an 8-8 season where they do technically make the playoffs. They win 8-8, they snuck in, get eliminated. And then what do the Bears decide to do? Well, we need a fresh start. We draft Justin Fields, but we keep Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy he gets the opportunity for another quarterback, and Justin Fields comes in. Doesn't work out very well. Matt Nagy gets fired. They hire Matt Eberflus. Doesn't go well for those first 2 seasons, and they're ready to move off Justin Fields, which I think was the right move. You get the number 1 overall draft pick. You pick Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick, but you hang on to Matt Eberflus. When all of these other options were out there, Jim Harbaugh's out there, Belichick is out there, Vrabel's out there, all these experienced head coaches, and you hang on to fucking Matt Eberflus. Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions was apparently interested in the head coaching job. They didn't want him. Look what he's doing as the offensive coordinator with the Detroit Lions right now. You're going to have to pay him a fuck ton to come to Chicago after this. But even then, maybe you could have salvaged it if you hired a competent offensive coordinator. Shane Waldron was the last person a lot of people were expecting to come to Chicago. And look at some of the other names that the Bears interviewed for the offensive coordinator position, but didn't offer the job to. Cliff Kingsbury. He's now in Washington, 4th in overall total offense. Liam Cohn went to Tampa Bay. They're 8th in total offense. Zach Robinson went to Atlanta. They're 5th in total offense. Clint Kubiak, 16th in total offense with New Orleans. Greg Roman, Los Angeles Chargers, 22nd overall offense. All of these would have been better options than Shane Waldron. But this is the Chicago Bears. Shane Waldron finally fired. Good riddance. Go fuck yourself. Go somewhere else or get out of the league. I don't really care. But Matt Eberflus needs to be gone. This should have been the decision on Monday when he came out and said all this bullshit. Because I watch all these press conferences. I'm a miserable Bears fan. I listen to everything Matt Eberflus says on all of the interviews he does on radio shows, all his press conferences. Great defensive coordinator, dog shit leader. He should not be a head coach. And I don't know what's going to happen now. Have you already fucking ruined Caleb Williams? I don't know. I still think that if you reset things the right way, if you actually bring in somebody who's offensive-minded, maybe you can change things. I put maybe 30% of this blame on Caleb Williams for how the offense is performing. They've had flashes, right? They've had moments where it's great. Just on Sunday, there was probably 3 legitimate passes Caleb Williams missed. And of those 9 sacks that were taken, 2 or 3 probably on him that he should have dumped out and got rid of the ball. Of the other ones, he either had no fucking time or it's like a third down where he's trying to extend the play and pick up the third down. But the offensive line is abysmal. And when you look at Ryan Poles as a GM, listen, I was excited when Keenan Allen got here, when we signed DeAndre Swift, and like, these are awesome weapons. But again, the big weakness of this team was the offensive line. That was a weakness. They knew it. They didn't address it. They tried to put some ridiculous Band-Aids on it without really spending any money. That has not worked. And now with a bunch of injuries, you are left with nothing. With absolutely nothing on this offensive line. And you're not making any adjustments to help out this offense when you're limited the way that you are with this said offensive line. It's pathetic. But the vast majority of it, it's completely and totally disjointed. All of the players have given up on this head coach, and it is miserable right now in Chicago, as it always is. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below, and I'll talk to you later.